Hello and welcome back to Ops with Void. I'm your host, Forgotten Void, and this week, instead of Ops, we are going to talk about the current temporary game mode for PvE, Perilous Route. Now, I was asked to go over what ships are good for Perilous Route, so I will just go over a few things about the game mode instead. So first off, you're facing off against ships that are usually tier 6, tier 7. There's a couple tier 8s in there, but it's usually tier 6 or tier 7. And second, they're almost all coming at bow into you. So any ship that you use needs to be able to do bow in damage. So that makes, torpedo boats like the Jaeger actually not so good. It's pretty bad in any kind of torpedo focused boats there. Anything that requires your armor piercing, your or has armor piercing only, so like your Pan American or British light cruisers, they're also not so good. I mean, the British light cruisers, at least you can single launch torps to be able to go for the bow in torps, but they're not the best. You need to be able to have some sort of damage from bow in. So that means either high explosive or having armor piercing that overmatches the bow. So anything with I would say 380 or higher. I mean 300s is high enough that you can overmatch the bows of all of the destroyers and most of, if not all of the cruisers. So ships like Aegir and Azuma, they're not bad. They are decent for this because you can actually use armor piercing against the bows. If you're going to use a light cruiser, or if you're going to use a lighter cruiser, I wouldn't go with a toggle because the main guns are slow reloading or any other heavy cruiser. I would go with a light cruiser like Montpelier, Cleveland, Mines, or anything that has uh, high explosive that you can just keep on shooting with lots of DPM. Akizuki or Kitakaze at tier 8, tier 9, they are also really well. And then for battleships, you want to have something like Georgia, Palmer, something with good secondaries. Very, you want accurate secondaries because you want to be able to do a lot of damage. And then you also want to have guns that are at least 380 millimeters. So that means let's go to battleships. Uh, Brandenburg, it's okay. I mean, they're still at your 305s. On it's okay because you have a lot of them, but she doesn't have really good secondaries. She's just okay. She's just main guns. Brandenburg at least has a good guns and good secondaries, and has torpedoes. Prince Ruprecht's, you you have the size, the gun caliber, and you have good torpedoes and good secondaries, but you have less guns and less armor. But yeah, you don't want to be going on the lower side. So these are also 305s. It's and Niord here is just okay because like the secondaries, they are accurate. They have lots of reload, but they don't really have the good penetration that you need. And that is why Valparaiso, Valparaiso is good because she's tanky. Los Andes, Ipiranga, they're good. They're tanky. They have lots of guns. They have, um, so I would like Ipiranga is mid because they're 356s, whereas Los Andes you actually get the 380s. Why is 380 so important? Well, 380 allows you to overmatch 25 and 26 millimeters of armor. And tier 6 battleships have 25 or 26 millimeter bows. At tier 7, there are a few tier 7 battleships. At tier 7, you can no longer do it, and that is when you need the 406s or 410s of like Iwami or Ki. So Iwami and Ki are actually pretty decent since they have 100 secondaries. I believe Iwami actually has the more accurate secondaries, but these are actually pretty decent since they both have torpedoes and secondaries that actually can penetrate most of the enemy at any angle. However, as you saw with the ship we had at the beginning, they all kind of pale in comparison to Pommern. That's right. Pommern is probably the best. So you have Pommern as top tier, and then everything else is below Pommern. So you can make any ship work. Iwami I've done well in, He have done well in, Mines I've done well in. I've topped the team in San Diego with her 127s and no HE. You can do well in pretty much any ship as long as it has DPM or overmatch. It needs to have kind of one or the other. If it has both, then it's pretty much top tier. So Pommern is top tier because it has both. It has DPM, it has overmatch, it has torpedoes, and it has alpha. It has pretty much everything. The DPM comes in the form of secondary, so you have the 105s with 2.9 second reload and 6.4 on the 150s, as we currently have it built. So the Pommern I have it a little bit different than normal. So what we have for a Pommern, we have main battery armament, so the secondary is kind of going, but this is to keep your torpedo tubes safe. Like you could do secondary auxiliary augments for the secondary survivability, but we do main battery just to protect the torpedoes. You have damage control so that we're not set on fire as much because nothing else really matters there. We have secondary batteries dispersion because that is where part of our DPM is going to be. Aiming mods, I thought about it, but with a 1.5 or 1.6 Sigma, it's pretty bad anyways. Just a little bit main battery dispersion. We'll just keep it with the secondaries and let our secondaries do work. We have prop mod to help with acceleration and getting up to speed or with maneuvering. Damage control mod is another thing, but we went with prop mod because she's a big ship and slow to start, so this kind of helps with that. We have concealment for dispersion against us and kind of getting closer so we're not always detected. The other option would be ship consumables to get the 10% out of your consumables. If we are to do ship consumables, you now have a 30-second heal. The heal lasts 30 seconds, and this is 33 seconds. Whereas we go back to here, this is only 30 seconds, and you're at 28 seconds. So it's a few more seconds on the heals if you want it. So this is kind of up to you, whichever you do. But she's already seen from the moon, so like we are at 15.1 detectability at the moment. And then we have main battery mod. Now I choose this because we want to do damage with our main batteries too. Like we don't want to rely entirely on our secondaries. Like this is if you want to do entire the secondary build, you want to do with auxiliary armaments mod 2, but we're doing main battery mod 3 for the reload to bring that 33-second reload down to 29 seconds so that we can use our main battery a little bit more. And then as for captain skills, we're using Lucians, and we're going with preventive maintenance. So this keeps this is actually where our secondary survivability is out of everything. So this helps our secondary stay alive. We have Grease the Gears. This is to counteract the main battery mod 3 in their slot 6 because they move slowly. If I had one more point, we would be doing Demo Expert, but we don't have one more point. After that, we are going, so we have the secondary skills with the secondary firing range and the improved secondary dispersion. And this is also minus 10% to, so it's a flat minus 10% to secondary battery dispersion and minus 10% to reload, and so that's why you're at 2.9 seconds instead of 3.2. And we have 6.4 seconds instead of 7.1 for these. And then we have Adrenaline Rush, so that our main battery and secondary get do damage even faster as we lose our HP, which we will be losing our HP. So these are secondary stuff. And then we are also doing close quarters combat so that when something was within our secondary range, which is 12.5 kilometers, then our main battery gets another 10% reduction to go down to closer to what, 26 seconds in reload. And lastly, fire prevention. You absolutely a must on all battleships. If I could take this on cruisers, I would be taking this on all of my battle cruisers. This is a must. This used to be a must for battle cruisers until they took it away from the battle cruisers, so now they can't take this skill anymore. But absolute must for all battleships. Unless, okay, one exception. Valparaiso does not need this. It's the only one that does not need this. All the others need it. So, with that, we will go ahead and hop into battle. So, for Perilous Route, let's go ahead and go in. And Perilous Route has 2 maps. So this is one of the maps, and the other map is Hotspot with the volcanoes that are erupting. I personally like this map a little bit better because this is more open. Hotspot, you have that point where it goes in, and when you're on the route, you can't really shoot at anything. Whereas this map, you can kind of shoot at an enemy pretty much any points when you're on this map, especially if you go the route that I'm taking. And we're moving our guns to the right side because on this map, the first enemies that you spot are always coming from that lovely sunrise, sunset. I'm not sure, but it's a nice sunny. And with any German battleship, you're always using armor piercing because your armor piercing at over penetration always does more than high explosive. Always does more than high explosive. So you might as well just only use armor piercing, even against destroyers. The only time you'd use high explosive against destroyers is if you want to get incapacitation rivets. So as you see, we're kind of going straight in. We're pointing our nose kind of straight at where the end route would be, because we want to go in between these islands, and as the enemies pop up, that's when we will be killing them. This is also the route you would take because this the secondary tasks have randomized secondary tasks and randomized primary tasks. Sometimes you have to capture areas, sometimes you have to take out shuttle boats. In this case, we have to take out these destroyers. That really just means more XP for us, since we are right here. So you see I have my secondary on one target. We have my main guns. We're going to another target. We're throwing torpedoes there. My main guns didn't quite kill the target, so we put we want the secondary on the Leone. We were able to hit 2 of the destroyers with our torpedo spread. And we are now using both of our heals. So we're not going to use our repair, we're just going to use our heals. We're going to save our repair for later. And so we're able, because the buffs were dropped right in front of us, we were able to just pick one up. But I'm not going to go out of my way for the buffs. They are nice, but they're not a big amount of XP. We are going to go for as much damage as possible. So the Aegir did really well there. They are able to Citadel the uh, Molotov from the front because they overmatched the bow. We, on the other hand, we actually have, because we moved up and we're not the closest target, we're able to get a nice broadside on the Mutsu. These bots will always go to the closest target. They bow into the closest target. So if you are bowing, that is why you need the overmatch. And if you don't have the overmatch, well, then you're out of luck. Especially like, so Brandenburg would not be able to overmatch the Mutsu. Brandenburg, anything with guns smaller than 380 would not be able to overmatch the Mutsu there. We are able to take it out. Oh, we're the Honghe. Where's that Yellow River? Okay, our secondaries took out the Yellow River without us even noticing that we're firing secondary. And that's the wonderful thing about secondaries ships, is because you can just put yourself in the middle and they will just kill things. Like, our guns are still turning around, but our secondaries are doing all the work now. And Pommern, at tier 9, I believe she has one of the highest secondary DPMs of all ships. Ruprecht is probably higher. Valparaiso is also pretty high, but she has only 127s. Same with okay, so as you see, we get another enemy ships detected. So we're going to have to eliminate more destroyers. And so this is where the secondary task, and then, well, this is the primary task. You have these scout this area, take out these destroyers, or capture this point, and it randomly selects any of them. And yes, you can have the same one multiple times in a row. I'm going to throw those at the Eagle as we are turning in. We took out that Eagle. Okay, and the second Eagle is done with torpedoes, and we almost got the monohand with our torps. And that monohand's down, and now we're turning in. So we are keeping our secondaries on one side, and we're turning in so that we will put our right side against the other ships there, and that is because I want to be able to have my torpedoes. Oh, there's a galleon. So you see, I put my secondaries, I always target the destroyers with my secondaries, because you can do more against the big ships with your main guns. Like there, we got full pens and pretty much took out the Mysore. I put the secondaries back on the Mysore just to finish it off, so I don't have to worry about it. And then we're going to throw our torps at the second Mysore with our torps there. We were able to get the Issei with our secondaries. We unfortunately couldn't kill the Gallant early enough, so we got a couple torpedoes there. But we didn't use our main guns in a little bit, which means that with all the smoke, we get to sit here and relax while we turn our guns to the other side. And so this is where we're actually we're stopping. And so when we want to move forward again, our improved engine will actually be of use. And so we're just going to aim at the nose of the Mutsu. I know I aimed a little bit up there trying to take out a gun. That's kind of just a habit on my side, aiming up. So if you aim at the guns or superstructure on battleships, you can generally do damage even if you don't overmatch. But at this point, all that's left is that Atlanta over there. So now we are going to go in. And now I know I don't have to go to the left because I have my Hydro up. And so if there's any ships hiding behind the islands, I would have seen it. But since I don't see the ships, I'm going to go for one of the last spawns. Because at this point, I'm like, oh, we killed everything, right? Right? Wrong. spoiler alert, as I get across this cross the threshold, we will be spotted by, we will spot and be spotted by ships. So I'm going to go ahead and use this heal up, and there's the ships. And our Lucian's proc, because we spot them. So that's another reason why Pommern is so good, because you have Lucians for the procs on the healing, this and the healing and the secondary, and if you are able to, main battery, but I don't think we're able to. So we're going to, I was actually expecting to run into the Monahan right there, but instead they come within torpedo arming distance and are able to get that. And so I'm kind of like, where do I shoot, what do I do kind of mode. This is actually me panicking. I'm like, do I use my main guns, do I shoot? No, we'll just torpedoes there. Main guns on Graf Spee. Okay, secondaries on Graf Spee. And we're turning. And we are going to use our torpedoes on the Friedrich there. Prince Idol Friedrich, not Friedrich the Gross. Yeah. And here we are. We went in, we killed a bunch of ships, and we are going to use our last heal to get us up to a little bit before half. And now this is where the last thing is. And so the last spawn, they can either spawn here, here, or here. And they spawn in 2 of these locations. So you can get a spawn here and here. And if that was the case, we would be really unlucky. But since we only got the 4 ships on our side, and the other spawn is further away, we can actually be able to tank this out. And this is where they're like, wait, what? You already have 17 kills? Yes, we already have 17 kills. And we're not done yet. The Fat Lady hasn't sung. We are still going in. So we're going to take out that Mysore by overpenning its front. We're going to throw torpedoes at the Ashitaka. We're going to turn to our other side so that we can get torpedoes off if need be. The Atlanta seems to be almost dead. We're going to take out the Atlanta. Almost took it out with our main guns. Okay, the Ashitaka is still alive. We're going to throw torpedoes at the Graf Spee over there. And then we're going to turn. This is where I wish I could individually lock my turrets or put turrets against something. So I'm not sure if the torpedoes would take the Graf Spee. So that's why I was looking at that. I wasn't too worried about Ashitaka because the turret's traverse is even slower than ours. And there we are. We got everything. And so we were able to take out all 4 of these. Yes, we had backup, but we were tanking. So they were only shooting at us. And we were able to get all 4 of these kills, putting us at 21 kills, nearly 400k. And we're not even done yet. And here I am pointing them out that the ships are up all over there. You can see where one has initially been spotted. They're outside of my main battery range, so even if I wanted to shoot them, I can't because we don't have a I don't have the spotter plane. But yeah, no. The Pommern is just the best because it has the broad. There aren't many ships at tier 9 that have this weight. So you have 12 380s. The ships that can compare with weight is the Onholt with the 15 350s, but you don't have the overmatch of the you get on battleships. You have Kearsarge, but then you're not tanky at all. There you have a very squishy flight deck. You don't have the good secondaries. You don't have the torpedoes. So all you have are the 406 rifles. And I'm coming at a loss if there's any other. Oh, Alsace. But Alsace, their secondaries don't really do anything. Yes, your guns reload a little bit faster, and they are 380s, but you're not as tanky. And so Pommern has this really heavy weight and has all these extra features. She has the torpedoes. She has the really good secondaries. She has access to Luchins for even more heals, even more reload. So, like, we have 757 secondary hits at this point in time. Let's see if we can take out the Scharnhorst. Do we take out the Scharnhorst? No. We got 2 ricochets and a non-pen. Oh, we can't get our 22nd kill. Scharnhorst is dead. Now, I was thinking about going after the Warspite, but then I saw the health disappear all of a sudden. I'm like, nope. We're going to shoot at this Warspite with more HP because we can get a little bit more damage in before the end. So there you have it, 413k. You have 700,000 credits on a green booster. If this had been a blue, we probably would have been close to 1.5 million probably. We have 21 kills, 15 torpedo hits. There we go. We got our Ray. We have our 2 Citadel hits. Lots and lots of secondaries. We only 1 buff picked up, only a few aircraft shot down. 21 spots, and so that is 7 times that our heal from Lucian's procced up, and it heals based on your tier. So on a tier 9 ship, it's actually pretty good, even despite it being just a little bit. So we are top of the team with 1,800 base XP. And so, yeah, 21 warships destroyed, another 11 damaged. Our main battery did 116k, all armor piercing. Our torpedoes did 102k. Our secondary battery did 181k. Plus another 12k from fires, so 180, 193k damage from that. 193, 194k. So the secondaries there really did a lot, and so but we were still able to do quite a bit with our main guns due to our fast reload that we have. Damage received 183k damage. But we did heal through most of it. Fires, flooding, yeah. So no one. I guess the one big source was armor-piercing shells, but we took a lot of damage from all kinds of stuff. I guess the fires and floodings help us heal back quite a bit because all this is 100% healable, whereas this is reduced HP that we can heal back. Just lots and lots of ships. And I guess it did help that we faced a bunch of destroyers that we can kill very quickly and they don't really do much to us. And so facing 2 waves of 4 destroyers is really nice. If they had been Shenno boats, we would have been at the mercy of our secondaries, and we would have actually had to use our hydro a little bit more because the Shenno boats can only be seen within 2 kilometers unless they're on something like hydro and radar. As for credits, base earned 400k. Um, yeah, with that, um, a blue booster would probably put us to 1.5 million around there. Instead, we only have the plus 40% with the green booster. Um, and then the service, ammunition resupply, and everything is only 100k since we are on a tier 9 premium. Good bit about of Commander XP. I believe actually the Commander XP is where I'm using a blue booster, and so yeah, that's why we're getting quite a bit there, and that's because Lucids is a 21 point commander, and when you have a 21 point commander, all Commander XP you receive is immediately becomes Elite Commander XP. So all of your Commander XP is elite, and rather than some of a portion of the Commander XP also becoming Elite Commander XP. So with that, if you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more, we'll go back to our regularly scheduled ops. We'll be doing probably another video on flagships next week. If you want to see that video, you want to get a notification when that comes out, click that subscribe button. If you like this video, click the thumbs up. You don't have to. I'm not saying it just helps these videos get seen. That said, I do hope to see you again next week. Last for those of you who stayed this long, I did mention that in my previous Perilous Route video that I do have a favorite ship, and it's actually Siegfried. I really do like Siegfried because she has the overmatch, and she has the torpedoes, and she has the armor, and most importantly, she takes up a cruiser slot. So with everybody in a battleship, picking a cruiser gets you into battles faster. With that, I hope to see you again next week. Have a good one.